very beginning that the intervention of Mr. President had become inevitable. Inevitable in the circumstance that he had done what he needed to do as far as observers, as far as I'm concerned. He had called them previously, and then they entered into some memorandum of understanding, which both parties did not obey. And remember, we're in a federal system of government supported by the Constitution, which Section 1 says the Constitution is supreme. There's a limit to what Mr. President can do in foisting whatever that was agreed on these parties. Now, remember also, in addition to those efforts, Mr. President receives security reports on daily basis or as the need would arise in the nation that ordinarily you and I do not see. So, he is in a better position as a managing director of a company, so to say, to take such a decision at a time like this. And remember also that the parties concerned had been in court since 2013. As a matter of... since 2023, thank you very kindly. They had actually been in court. Before the Supreme Court judgment of 2 weeks ago, there was actually a case that was decided by the Federal High Court on the status of the legislature, which went to the Court of Appeal, where the Court of Appeal affirmed the decision of the Federal High Court, which went to the Supreme Court, where where one of the parties withdrew his appeal, and that was dismissed. So there's a position already of the law, and whatever the judges say are nothing more pretentious. This is why I speak to politicians about the necessity, imperative, obeying court judgments and obeying rule of law. Because if they had just simply obeyed the outcome of those decisions and then use it as a basis to say, the courts have decided, the president has suggested, let's sit down and make this thing work. And if you remove your pride, no matter who you are, and then sit on the conference table, there's nothing that, okay, one aspect that occurred to me as the scenario unfolded is that we need to have a viable system of conflict resolution in Nigeria. You have the Institute of Peace and Conflict Resolution. This incident should really tell the legislature to ensure that that institution has more money. Let them have the requisite resources to work with, and then give them more constitutional powers, some powers that will enable them wade into conflicts such as this. With the enormous research they would have garnered from both sides, be able to, for example, if Mr. President is calling for that kind of meeting, you would have an independent body that will furnish Mr. President researched materials on this conflict that will enable Mr. President to take an informed decision at this point. You see, most of the comments I read on the social media, on the newspapers, are born out of sentiments. Okay? Yes, morality is good, but morality and law are not the same. If you look at the state of the law, you would find that it's inevitable for Mr. President. In any event, under Section 306, remember the matter is still before the National Assembly, because, under Section 305, subsection 6, it says that if the National Assembly is in session, and they are in session now, and that if within 2 days that proclamation is made by Mr. President, the National Assembly fails to sanction it, both houses, both the Senate and the House of Representatives, sanction it by 2/3 majority, then it will fail. That's Section 305, subsection 6. So there's an opportunity, okay, for the National Assembly to consider what Mr. President has done, because then they will see the details and to either sanction it, and they are wise men. If they sanction the proclamation by Mr. President, we should not be saying it will not succeed. What we should be saying is that we should pray for Nigeria for it to succeed, for both sides to use the 6 months of suspension, because under Section 305(6), President can also revoke it at any time. You can say, I hereby have seen that the circumstances have changed. Both gladiators should sit back, okay, have a cooling off time, talk to themselves, and then come back with a viable method of ensuring peace and prosperity for the people of River State.
Let me ask you